So I wanted to do something just a smidge different with today's video format, and I used to do this quite a bit in the past, but kind of moved away from it. But for today, we're going to feature some of the general insanity clips and weird moments I've recently recorded, just to keep it light and entertaining. Welcome to the channel. This is LtBuzzLitebeer, and after taking yesterday off to record and finish up the new Starfield Shattered Space DLC, it's time to get back to diving, and we've got a new patch to discuss with some familiar symptoms. More on that in a moment. We've also got the fixing of a heavily exploited exploit. Their words, not mine. And of course, a bit more to cover as well. Now, in case you haven't done so already, make sure to hit subscribe and ring that notifications bell to receive my latest upload alerts. And here comes all the latest with Helldivers.
System of failure.
Alright, a very quick tour of the galactic map reveals that our diver forces, despite being depleted by the recent PSN outage, too bad they couldn't simultaneously reinstate the 170 plus countries and regions out there. Anyways, I digress. It shows that we are currently making solid gains on Pantheon 24, with our end goal always being to hold the line of advance and protect Turing. And it's really that simple. Turing is the end of the line. And if we can cut off the bugs from hopping there, we win. Now, taking a look at the Helldivers companion app, and by the time this video posts, we will of course fully liberated Pantheon 24, and it will probably result in us then transferring over to Akamar for the last little bits of this major order. Of course, this is the first of 4 upcoming segments we will need to complete in order to secure the final plans and finish up our Helldivers Death Stars. Also, if you're looking to pick up a quick 15 medals, today's daily or personal order is to extract with 5 rare samples, which you can easily knock out with 1 regular mission, and as always, everything is shared across the squad. Now onto today's latest update, which has a few items that the community has been talking about for months. So, Hotfix 1.001.103 of course went live early this morning, and it also included 2 crash fixes in it. One related to stim pistol players leaving the game, and the other had to do with equipped purchased Hellpod skins on a fresh account. Now, I personally haven't seen or heard of either of these, but there you go. Anyways, now onto the big changes. First, the devs removed the ability to equip heavy armor with the advanced filtration passive on it, stand in the middle of a gas cloud, and not take damage, which, that's a big boo. As soon as I heard about this one, back when Chemical Agents launched, I actually supported it. Wearing heavy armor, you have to give up so much in order to get that little extra boost in armor protection, namely speed and stamina regen, which in Helldivers, when you're moving slowly and out of stam, is basically ringing the dinner bell for any targets to just swoop in and put you on the barbecue. If there are any devs out there that see this video, please consider switching that back. Give heavy armor wearers at least something they can call their own, because the sacrifices are great just to wear those armor types. Next up is a fix to no longer allow multiple seismic probes and prospecting drills to be brought down at the same time, which honestly sounds like a nightmare. Also, bots will no longer get stuck shooting at walls as frequently during evacuate high-value asset missions. Now, as far as I know on this one, the original issue, the OG issue, was that the bots would drop in and they would immediately just start hammering the shield generators, which for anyone that has seen The Empire Strikes Back, you know that you always target the shield gens first. I mean, that's accurate. Anyways, the bots would just drop in and wreck the generators and it was game over. Then, as far as I know, the devs fixed or tried to fix it so that the bigger bots would instead prioritize the Helldivers. But now, they've apparently developed an affinity for just shooting at straight walls. It feels like these tower defense missions are in a perpetual state of dysfunction and brokenness. We just got out of a bugs level 10 version of this mission, and at times, we were just sitting there, waiting for waves to eventually show up. I mean, it felt so tuned back compared to what it used to play like. Fingers crossed the devs can get these issues sorted out, because that mission type, when it's working properly, can be so much fun, and it's definitely a diver favorite. All right, let's now talk about the biggie, sound design. Listen to this description first, and then I'm going to comment on it, of course. The audio for all bug and bot enemies has been cleaned up and rebalanced recently. The focus has mostly been on their voices, but the movement has been looked at as well. The goal was to make enemy audio more balanced between each enemy type and to make enemies more audible in various situations. It will be subjective, but please keep on the lookout for moments where you think the audio should have informed you about the enemy's presence, but didn't. Okay, so let's translate that. They went through the sound files and made adjustments and or completely replaced enemy sounds so we can hear them. Hopefully before we see them, for anyone that has been skewered by a ninja bile titan or absolutely plowed over by a charger. You know what I'm talking about. Also, it's time for a bit of feedback on this as well, because again, we just came out of a level 10 bug mission on Pantheon, and the ninja bugs are indeed still in the game. In one case, there was a spore charger that mauled not only me, but a squad mate a little bit away from me, and it made zero sound as it came charging through. So those one-off massive beast running full speed making no sound issues are indeed still present in the game, but I could tell that certain enemies were giving louder cues before they attacked. And then these patch notes turn to the humorous General Brash protection orders for Mu Den the Pygmy Hippo, which you can look up for yourselves on the internet. Known issues are still aplenty here, with high priority items like enemies shooting through walls, friends request items, enemies prioritizing the shield generators, and social menu items still being the norm here. Strat balls bouncing, Pelican 1 getting ragdolled by impalers, seen that one firsthand, and a few others are there on the medium priority list as well. Now personally, I think the game is slowly ticking these items off the list. I mean, it is playing better, but anything to do with friends list, especially when the game is multi-platform and is a horde style co-op shooter, those should have been sorted out at launch, and since they're still persistent, they need to be sorted out with extreme haste. And here we are again in October, and this is still a reoccurring thing here on the Known Issues board. Here's an interesting one for you out there, divers. Check this out. It says, Helldivers 2 patch notes for update today nerfs heavily exploited gas-resistant armor in Hotfix. Helldivers 2 patches are coming thick and fast now, and the latest has made it a little tougher to traverse the toxic gases you're laying down in your bid for victory over the Terminids. A particular frustration that has come to light, though, is that one exploit for the game has been removed. Players were enjoying the fact that the gas resistance of certain heavy armors was accidentally cranked to 100%, making dealing with the weapons from the Chemical Agents Warbond a breeze without having to worry about splash damage from the gaseous output. Love that there, the gaseous output. Now these resistance levels have been altered, meaning that you're going to have to keep a closer eye on just how viciously you're spraying your foes, among keeping an eye on the other bug fixes. All right, let's pause here for a moment. I'd love to get your initial reaction to this article, especially those headlines, and leave me some feedback down in the comment section. And personally, my gut first reaction here is that this was not a major issue, and it certainly was not a heavily exploited gas-resistant armor glitch like the headline suggests. I mean, some people, yes, were running with gas. Some people are still running with gas, but it's still very much a niche loadout. And like I mentioned earlier when going through those patch notes, I think it should be a reward for wearing the heavy armor. That should indeed stay in the game. But again, this is just one man's opinion. Definitely leave me your feedback. Should it stay in the game? Is this just being over-dramatized here in the headline? Let me know. And with that, it's now time for your top 3 comments from my last Helldivers video. And as always, if you want to see your name and comment up in lights in my next upload, you first need to let it fly on this video. That's right, you got to take a few seconds here, drop me a comment, and who knows, it might just get upvoted enough so that it makes it into the top 3. Anyways, kicking it off in the number 1 spot is Doom Flavored, who says, real shit. I bet the menu across from our armory will become a DSS related menu. I'd love to see that, by the way. To be honest, I'm willing to bet that when they roll out SEAF reinforcement stratagems and the clan systems, we'll be able to manage that stuff there. The homies and I have been dying to make our regiment official. And I know there's a lot of theories and whispers, and we've heard about these leaks flying around with all this stuff, SEAF reinforcement, platoons, the whole thing. It sounds like there's a lot going to be baked into this new DSS and everything that's coming with it. I can't wait to see it. The game definitely needs to expand. We need a lot more when it comes to squatting, like I said, platoons earlier, and certainly progression. And by the way, congrats Doom Flavored on taking the top spot for this countdown. And the number 2 spot is, whoa, I know this name, it's Cloud Plays, who I shouted out in the last video for getting their comment noticed and responded to over in the official Helldivers Discord. Anyway, Cloud says, yo, that's me. Keep it up, brother. You're killing it. You are as well, CP. Always glad to see other content creators showing up down in the comment section. And congrats, your comment made it in here. It's in the top 3. And bringing up the caboose for this countdown is Reservoir Frogs. I like that play on the word there. It's not Reservoir Dogs, it's Reservoir Frogs. 2177, and they say, love being a part of this journey with this game. Me as well. Shame most of my IRL friends moved on. That is a shame. I've been diving with randos for months. Yeah, I hear you. I know that a lot of players have moved on. I mean, at one point, I've commented on this in the past, the player counts, at least on Steam, were down into the 5,000s. I mean, Helldivers was on life support until the Buff Diver update came in. And by the way, for anyone out there that's kind of experiencing this game the same way that Reservoir Frogs is, there's always an open Discord link down in my video descriptions. I don't push it so much anymore, but you're welcome to join our Discord. We have a full LFG channel going over there that's looking for group. You can post over there what difficulty, bots, bugs, and people will respond. You can jump into those free voice channels, hop on mics, bring the pain. It's a lot of fun, and of course we have the full gamut of Helldivers channels as well, like news, media, that kind of thing. So if you want to, you're welcome to join our Discord. And with that, I think we're going to call it for today. Remember to leave me any feedback you have about anything we discussed today, or just Helldivers in general, and I will, of course, do my best to respond. Remember to hit subscribe and to ring that notifications bell to receive my latest upload alerts. All my socials, including links to today's sources, can all be found down in the video description as well. Shout out to the now over 245,000 of you legends from across the globe. You've tuned in daily, you support me, you've already hit subscribe, and I appreciate each and every one of you. We're now down under 5K to go until we hit that magical, mystical, just out of reach 250K. I know we can do it. If you haven't hit sub already, please consider doing so. We'd love to have you along for the ride. Until the next one, this is Lieutenant BuzzLitebeer signing off.